Okay, welcome to the episode, guys. First of all, I would really like to start out with saying that Carmex is the most underrated form of like lip gloss. Like it's not even
lip gloss.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like it's chapstick, but I am like a firm believer in like Carmex over other lip products and just by itself because it's really glossy. Honestly, the pollen has been terrible. I matched the pollen.
Real?
We got over having the flu. You guys know that. And then I walked outside and I was like, I think I have the flu again. Because seriously, I felt like I have like a rock like sitting in my throat. Oh, like rock of pollen sitting in my vocal cords.
Pollen is disgusting. I know that but everybody's going to argue with me on that one, but pollen is the worst.
Everyone's going to argue with you. I don't think anyone's... Okay.
You got to go with the joke, man.
I'm sorry. I'm not on my game. Last night was maybe the worst night of sleep I have ever had in my life. Maybe Marcus too.
Same, because
I kept him up.
Yeah.
I just cannot sleep right now. Like, also, it's a little bit hard when you feel the urge to itch your hands and your feet every 5 seconds. But anyways, we're not here to talk about lips or feet or hands.
Or pollen or feet or hands or any body parts. Today, we're going to talk about
some scripture
my
that's been
Bible
on
verse.
Marcus's heart.
What a weird transition here.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is like a twofold thing. One, this is my favorite passage, but then also it is, what would the word be? Like the namesake of Milo?
I guess,
like our second baby?
It's kind of like maybe just, you could put it like it's the meaning like behind like why we chose Milo's middle name. So we thought we'd kind of include that.
Because my favorite book in the Bible is the book of James. I think I've said that before on a podcast. One of the season 1 ones. But yeah, I love chapter 1. I mean, I love all the chapters, but I want to get like a journal or something to like have more notes.
Yeah, you guys should see, look how marked up, if you're watching the YouTube video, how marked up like James is in Marcus's Bible, because he's the note taker
and it's like
kind of
taped
anyways,
together,
but it's like so intense. I love it. It's sweet.
But it's because I come back to it like often, and a lot of times I find like new things and stuff that like stand out to me. Also, unfortunate for me, maybe not unfortunate, but yeah, just a thing that I did. I've had this Bible since I was 12 years old.
Did you get that after we met or before?
I got it after we met. So I was 14.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I got it in
I think I remember when you got it.
For Christmas. But
that's sweet.
The thing is,
it's well loved. The like spill.
Yeah. Well, the thing is though, because when I had it when I was like 14 or whatever, I for some reason went on this like big calligraphy kick. And I would watch like girls on YouTube like read their Bibles.
Which, okay, another side note. I think it's so sweet because I do remember too, like looking over, like I have vivid memories, like when we were in our old church building of like looking over, and Marcus would like bring his pens like into service for like a period of time. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I had a pouch.
And he had like it was literally like something I would bring to church.
Yeah,
like,
it was what a 12-year-old girl should be bringing to church.
It was really sweet though.
But I have a lot of markings from that and like drawings and like squiggly writing.
But wasn't part of the reason you wanted to learn calligraphy though is because also this is another sweet thing about our dating relationship. Marcus left me notes.
That's not why,
but I feel like that was part of it. I tell myself it was part of it because he would make me these like really beautiful notes that would have like verses on them or like encouragement, or they would just be sweet. But he would like do calligraphy on them, and they were on like cardstock.
It wasn't good
show you
calligraphy.
Guys.
It was just.
It was really sweet though. I mean, honestly, for a 14-year-old boy, I would say the calligraphy was good. I've never been very good at calligraphy.
So if I'm at like a men's Bible study or something, I pull out the book of Psalms, and this is.
I honestly have had that thought before of like, I wonder if he's like a little bit.
Sometimes because I'll pull it out and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll read in the circle, and I'm like,
he's got like, well, because he used like so many colors.
Like the beginning.
I guess we could get you another journaling
That's
Bible.
What I'm saying. I should get another one.
Well, you have that one. I got you that study Bible, but it's kind of thick.
Genesis at one point, and I drew like little things for like the days of creation.
Yeah,
So,
his
like,
little drawings really crack me up.
I read like out loud with the group from Genesis, and like there was a guy sitting next to me, and afterwards he was like, why do you have oh wait, I don't have my mic this whole time.
Oh.
Hopefully you could hear what I just said, but anyway.
That's so funny.
So
anyways, but we're going to talk about the passage in James.
Gonna talk about James.
We're chatty today.
Yeah, we need to get on to some other episodes. This is sorry, we've been chatting a lot, guys. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
This is my favorite passage in the whole Bible. I probably need to like read more, and maybe I'll find another passage that's my favorite. But like, okay. I come back to this a lot.
I've had the same passage for my favorite one. For
James 1 is just.
I just tried to say something that made no sense.
Yeah, you were like, I've had a favorite passage before.
I said I've had a favorite passage for the same time.
What?
I feel like maybe it's the pollen in
it's
my pregnant brain. I'm sorry, that was so funny. I couldn't even.
I think it's the Carmex that's getting to me.
Maybe.
Okay.
Gracious sakes.
So James 1:12 says, "Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him." And that's my favorite because there's a lot of like practicality there. But also it's just like such an encouragement. And what I wanted to focus, what I was thinking about earlier, and what I want to kind of focus on is, I'll read it again. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. So, there's things going on in our lives that are hard. There's like the Christian lingo of it would be like, I got some trials.
It's a rough season.
It's a rough season.
We love our seasons.
Yeah, I got tribulations. I heard somebody say tribulations the other day, and they weren't a believer. Like it was somebody I was working with. I was like, how does he like? Huh. People don't use that in normal.
It is like an intense.
It's a very like.
Feels like a very
the
biblical.
Jews in the Old Testament went through like tribulations. Like yeah.
Doesn't feel necessarily fitting to.
It's not very like
Christians
Gen
of
Z
this
slang.
age, yeah.
No, yeah.
No.
But yeah. So, but it's kind of like almost like a psalm in a way where it's like blessed is the person who does this and who acts this way. And I love that. Blessed is a man who remains steadfast under trial. There's going to be hard things in life, but you will be blessed. Blessed is the man who remains. I really love the fact that it says remains steadfast. Not the man who becomes steadfast or is steadfast, but the believer who, knows the Lord, knows what is right, and sticks to that and remains in that. And it's not it's not the man who remains perfect under trial. It's the man who remains steadfast, who continually like works at it and remains. Yeah.
And I feel like when I think of remains, like I don't necessarily think of like yes, it's an intentional like choice, but it's also kind of like a lingering. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like when you remain in something, like you're not. Yes, you're chasing it, but you're also just like dwelling there. Like you're remaining.
Yeah.
Like in that. You know what I'm saying? Versus like kind of the way that we get to like dwell and remain like in Christ's love. Yeah. Like we get to like enjoy that in its fullness, and like that's not even something that we like are constantly like, yes, we need to pursue steadfastness, but there's also a way that we can just like dwell in that. Does that make sense?
Like he's holding us there.
Yeah, like he's
and
holding
we're remaining.
Us there. Yes,
yes.
I like that wording. Yeah, that's a good point.
Then further on, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life. I love the picture of a crown of life. Just being, and it's not like the man who remains steadfast will be blessed with, wealth and happiness and a new home.
Yeah.
It's a crown of life. It's eternal life in heaven. It's a promise of that's far better than anything else that we could wish and ask for here. It's what Jesus has to offer us through his death on the cross. It's what we are offered in, being able to go to heaven.
Not like momentary blessing.
Yeah.
Like eternal blessing through Christ.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something I think we kind of touched on in the like last few episodes, like talking about even where our hope is found and our security not being like in our circumstances. I feel like that goes along well with this, like the theme of like when we receive the crown of life, like that's ultimately like our blessing.
That's the reward.
Yeah, that's the reward after trial and after difficult things. Like we're not necessarily promised as believers like wealth, health, and prosperity on this side of heaven. There's going to be suffering and trial, but ultimately our hope is in the fact that like we will receive the crown of life, and that's our ultimate gift and blessing. So,
well, and even going back to verse 9 in James 1, let the lowly brother boast in his exaltation and the rich in his humiliation, because like a flower of the grass he will pass away. For the sun rises with its scorching heat and withers the grass, its flower falls and its beauty perishes. So also will the rich man fade away in the midst of his pursuits. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, but when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. Also love that ending. Just, it's God's promise. We can trust it. We can believe in it. And he's promised it to those who love him. And
not those who are even perfect and remaining steadfast under trial.
Those who love him.
Yeah. It's encouraging.
And I love that encouragement. Hopefully it can be encouraging to you. It's been very encouraging to me over the years as I have doodled it up.
With his highlighters and calligraphy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just use a black pen now. It's a little bit more like toned down.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that's encouraging to you guys, because that's probably been the most encouraging passage to me. And that's why, what we just talked about is why it's been the most encouraging thing. So.
Well, and I think even when I was thinking about us choosing James for like Milo's middle name, I think something that I really, and we've talked about this, but that we really like desire for our kids to see in us, like by God's grace, is like our ultimate joy and security and hope being in heaven and not in the things of this world.
Right.
And I think something that comes to mind for me more immediately is like just the reality of wanting to cling to like material things, even in difficulty, or wanting to cling to blessing and prosperity in the midst of hard times. And I think when we were thinking about like Milo's middle name, like something I was thinking about so much for him is like, obviously we desire this equally for Wes, but like a desire just for him to see the eternal wealth of heaven, like as the most precious thing to him. And not the things that we can kind of like reach for, like dust in the wind a little bit, in this life of just like
the flower and the grass that perish and fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of, I don't know, it's just something sweet that as we were thinking about Milo's middle name, like we both knew pretty quickly. We also really like the flow of Milo James. It just sounds really good, but sweet. It had a lot of intention behind it. And I think that there's no greater thing that we can also desire, like as parents, like for our kids, other than for them to see the eternal wealth that is found in heaven and in salvation in Jesus. So yeah,
that's our encouragement for you guys today. This is off topic of that. It's on the name topic though. I saw like an Instagram or a Pinterest post or something recently. Maybe not Pinterest. I don't know. I saw it somewhere recently.
Pinterest post.
And I was a Pinterest guy back in the day when I was calligraphying.
We'll have to link Marcus's Pinterest for
Absolutely not.
You have like 20 pins. You don't even have that much.
I think I have like 1,100.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't think you had that many.
I don't.
He does have a lot of boards though. I feel like you have a lot of boards that you made that you like didn't pin to.
Maybe.
No judgment. But
you judging my Pinterest boards?
My Pinterest is like my art form. You guys know this if you follow me on Pinterest. I actually link my Pinterest all the time simply because
I have one follower.
I love it.
How do you see like how many pins you have?
It's probably me or Micah. It's your one follower. Does Micah have Pinterest?
No.
His brother?
I have. You can't see like the total number, but there are multiples that I have multiple hundreds of pins to the boards.
That's funny.
So I think I have probably
less.
600 pins.
I love
it. Anyway, okay. Something that I pinned
Very
recently.
chatty today.
Something that I pinned recently is it was a list of the best cowboy names. Oh, you're still pinning? It was a list of the best cowboy names.
And
Weston and Milo were both on there. I was like,
they were both on there?
Yeah.
That's funny. Milo to me is like very Italian. Like
I think it is like in
like
nature.
I think it but
I think
it doesn't sound cowboyish to me. That's funny.
It was on the
Milo
list.
the cowboy.
Yeah.
Maybe we should I actually,
I would love to
sorry,
write a
this is
kid's
another,
book.
yes, that's exactly
Yes.
what I was about to say. We have always talked about writing a kid's book because I think that they're just so sweet. And obviously you have so much like freedom too with kids books. Like I feel like it's easy to like make them minimal, but to make them super sweet and like the illustrations.
And really you're
I'm not
playing
like
to the adults who think they're cute and the kids who like the story.
Yeah, I have like a whole vision for like the way the cover would be.
Yeah. Okay.
Our make
we
sure to
love you
buy our
guys.
children's book when we release it.
Yeah, comment below what we should title our kids book. I'm
gonna be
Yeah.
thinking about
All right.
this forever.
We love you guys. We hope you were encouraged by this today. Sorry it was a longer episode. We're feeling a little frisky today. Frisky's not the right word.
A little chatty.
Chatty.
Chatty might be the better word.
All right.
Doing this episode.
Wild. Okay.
Cut that
Love you
out. Cut that
guys.
out.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.